Hey everyone, in this video, we are creating a beautiful solar system animation using only HTML and CSS and no JavaScript at all. Now first create a simple HTML file and inside body tag we will write all the necessary tags for creating a solar system using HTML and CSS. Opening the solar system, we start by creating a div with the class solar system. This is the main container that holds all the elements of our solar system, the sun, the planets, and their orbits. This div will also be responsible for the 3D tilt animation. Next we will create sun. Next, we add a div with the class sun. This represents the center of our solar system, the sun. We'll style it with a glowing orange gradient and place it right in the middle of the screen. Then Mercury. This div has the classes orbit and Mercury. It creates Mercury's orbit path around the sun. Inside this orbit, we add a planet div for Mercury, and a nested label to display the planet's name. Venus. Here we add another orbit div, this time with the class Venus. It works the same way, holding a planet div that represents Venus and a label that shows the planet's name. Earth with Moon. This orbit is for Earth. Inside the planet div, we place a label saying Earth, and below it, we add a nested div called Moon Orbit. Inside that is another div for the Moon. This creates the illusion of the Moon orbiting Earth in 3D space. Mars with moons, Phobos and Deimos. Next, we create the Mars orbit. Inside its planet div, we add the label Mars and include two moon orbits. The first one contains Phobos, and the second, slightly larger, contains Deimos. These small moons will rotate around Mars just like in real life. Jupiter. This orbit Jupiter div is for the largest planet, Jupiter. Inside, we add the planet and its label. Saturn. Now we create Saturn. Later, we could even enhance this with a ring effect. For now, we have the orbit, the planet, and a label for Saturn. Uranus. This orbit is for Uranus. Again, we keep the same pattern, orbit, planet, label. Neptune. Finally, we add Neptune, the farthest planet in our 3D model. This completes our solar system layout. Applying styles to the tags present inside the div. First for body tag we will write the CSS. We remove default margin, create a dark space background, center content using flexbox, set full screen height, hide overflow, apply a clean font, white text, and enable 3D perspective. Container for the solar system, positioned relatively with a responsive square size having width and height of 90 vmin, preserves 3D for children, and slowly spins with a tilt animation. Next, CSS properties to the sun. Sun positioned centrally, sized and colored with a glowing gradient, fully round with border radius, centered via transform, and glows with a box shadow. So for these we write position absolute, top and left value is 50%, for rounded we give width and height as equal size with border radius as 50%, and background color which looks like orange, and with some glowing effect we add box shadow. Now orbit contains of position absolute, top 50%, left 50%, border 2px dashed with some color, border radius as 50%, add transform with translate x and y with negative values of 50, animation as rotate linear infinite. This is will defines each orbit is centered, circular, faintly outlined, and continuously rotates. Now for planet we will write the following properties like width 20px, height 20px, and choose some background color. Border radius is 50%, position is absolute, top 0, left 50%, and add transform as translate x minus 50%. This will represent as planets are small circles positioned at the top center of orbits. And now we will add the label properties. Labels are placed above planets, centered, readable, and non-interactive. And then we will add all the planets and orbit animation duration, and there you can see the labels with their circles. After labels we'll add orbit sizes and animation durations. Mercury, width 150px, height 150px, animation duration 6 seconds, and then Venus, width 190px, height 190px, animation duration 9 seconds. Next, Earth, width 240px, height 240px, animation duration 14 seconds, and we will repeat the same, but with different sizes and animation duration, as you can check in the code. Each planet's orbit is sized proportionally and has a unique revolution speed to simulate realistic rotation timing. Now we will add colors to the planet. Each planet has a distinct color to differentiate them visually, and then we will add some properties to Moon. Moons are tiny gray circles orbiting around their parent planet. Moon orbit, each moon's orbit is a small, faint circle around the planet. Phobos and Deimos are Mars's moons, slightly different shades and speeds. Planet colors and moon's CSS properties can check in the left side code panel. Now we will add animations. First, at keyframes rotate, this rotates the moon around its orbit, and then keyframes rotate moon, this rotates the moon around its orbit. At last, keyframes tilt, this creates a slow, continuous tilt and spin effect for the whole system. Finally, check the code starting from the body tag, and write all the necessary div tags for entire solar system. Inside the solar system, go through all the planets and orbits while some planets having moons. Coming to styling, you can check all the CSS part from starting solar system, sun, moon and all orbits and planets. Also check carefully about the animation. You can try this code with some other colors and animation by changing the values. This project is not only a creative way to explore web animation, but it's also a fantastic learning tool to understand CSS positioning, animations, 3D transforms, and more. You can use this concept in educational platforms, interactive websites, or just as a cool portfolio piece to showcase your UI skills. Keep experimenting, keep exploring, because even with just code, you can build an entire universe. You can check the full code and try yourself. For more updates, please subscribe UI Development Pro. Thanks for watching.